Hello, and it is Saturday, the 20th day of July 2019. My name is Derek, and this is the Money Charts channel. Like always, all bets, trades of the like, within each his own risk and their own reward. What Bitcoin hasn't done during this bull market, because it really isn't a bull market activity, is break down below the 18 average, resist within the band, and then make a new low. And so far, what action has it had below the 18 lows on the daily? It had some June 5th in here, but never did break down. It actually came below it, hit the resistance of the lows. Another red dot excitation of the band, but wasn't that fast before it regained it. Ultimately, these things got to get above the 18 average of highs. So on the daily right now, the highs comes in at 11,350. The lows comes in at about 10,300. And within it, you're in a correction area, really more of a neutral range, because ever since it's gotten above here, it established resistance, it established support. It technically did take out this level of support, but it was unable to hold and stay below it. Thus, it has held and stayed above it thus far, as it is now back within the 18. So you're really still in this sideways range. It's going to have to break it to one side or the other at some point. Now, within today's session, interesting, yeah, just whatever on the hour. It's going sideways. We've had this move. Big hour, 10 o'clock 2 days ago. Little bit of a follow through, and since then it has just stayed in a much shorter term range. I've now switched the time frame up to the exchange to the Binance one for the very short term. But even on today's intraday 1 minute time frame, our highlight of the day so far is in a 3 minute period. This thing rallied from like 10,005 change to about 10,700. Yeah, a little under 200 points, a little under 2%. It's giving it all back, 100% and a bit more. Really, there's not much more to say. That is the Bitcoin chart. Switching on to the dominance of Bitcoin, we have just movements within the 18. Nothing to indication or nothing to give me any great indications amongst such in here. When we take a look at this on the shorter term time frame, next up within the 8 hour price action or I guess I don't know if you call it price action. It's not really a price. It's more of a data set more than anything. But here's a situation of going down below the 18, resisting in the band, and starting to show, as this is a neutral band in here, that it's looking to leave it. Has it done anything like this during this up run on this time frame? Well, it got below it here, but it did not resist the 18. It bullishly found no resistance on either, thus getting above it and supporting later thereafter. And the last time, I guess, would be taking us back to June. And it was one of those failed breakdowns in here. But volatility, big move up, big move down, and has definitely been a most, what's the word I'm looking for? A convincing large move from this low. Markets go up, markets go down. At some point, it's going to go down. That's what it's looking as far as early attempt signs that it's doing within this chart. And like always, getting above the 18 highs, that'd be about 69 amongst this time frame. And now let's take a quick look at some of the alts. As Dash has gotten its ass kicked like a lot of other ones. It at 0.011 right now against Bitcoin. Earlier in April, at the start of that month when Bitcoin was breaking out, it was at 0.028. So it's lost 17 on 28, 60 or so percent. Pretty serious declines, but really it comes down to pretty serious volatility. It's going to have a long ways to go, because even then, the highs before April, well, we have level at 0.088. So it's lost about 8 times its value against Bitcoin. That's what markets do. Okay, profit from volatility. Will we have a move that will have a sustained leg afterwards? I think so, but I'm not going to say for sure. It's just I realize after a significant down move, there's going to be a significant up move when it's ready to go. And I'm never going to try to guess when it is. And if I do, it's not like it matters. It's just for something to do because I got the time to do it. And my guesses ain't going to be that good many times. Okay, well, what do we see short term with Dash? I find this a very, very interesting setup. It got up there last night, 2,300 hours. Well, starting at 20 hours to 23, so about 4 periods. Moving up from about the 106 handle up to about the 111. That's about 4 or 5%. But has had a lot of sideways move, a lot of this resistance coming in here at just this area here. Seeing it get above it, holding and staying above it, this thing has potential, I think, for a significant move. But that's the same case on support as well, too. Huge, huge, noticeable rectangular box that has been in play for over 10 consecutive hours so far. We'll see how it breaks. Quick look now at Theta, which is at 1129 Satoshi, and really just day three and hanging in there within the 18 average of highs, support there. On micro small volatility after this great update. So after a move like this, getting above the 18 average of this type of momentum, I really want to see it hold and stay where it came from. I wouldn't mind seeing the 18 average of lows come in as support, but as I stated before, I don't want to see that happen anytime soon. In that, I want to see the 18 average start to rise and then meet up with it, or just continue doing this for like another week plus, and then it'll just meet up with time. But yeah, that's this little area here, like 1,000. Kind of like to see it hold that, and it's so far held significantly above that. Meaning, if there's any significant price corrections that do manage to come into place, it's definitely got some wiggle room, is maybe one way of putting it. Volatility, of course, most certainly a aspect within this, as we can see just some of these moves intra within its work or play up. Let me just get rid of this here. But just a lot of these intra back and forth moves, as you can see. Comes up to 1168, pulls back to 1123. Over and over, there's been quite a few of them. And since this bottom in here, market had a lot of congestion back and forth. Same thing, 1131 back down to 1091, up to and just back and forth. So many opportunities. But here we have an attempt, a statement. Yeah, I'm going to revert this, bring this thing back up higher. Comes back, corrects for a while, continues on with its statement, retesting it on two different periods this high. So a 3x test, you could state, showing a lot of correctionary mode within the 18 highs. There's the big attempt to break out. Ultimately, this has been that of a failed breakout. So now we're looking at retracement from the previous low, previous high. But meanwhile, all this is just happening within this high and this high and just sticking around. So at some point, this thing is going to go significant, break above resistance, break below support. I last traded this morning. I actually bought some Theta coin against GoChain, which is down to 118. It was way up here at 800. Let's see, this is one of my fun. Let's see how this goes. It's got big volatility. Definitely amounts played within the entire cross of GoChain against four other cryptos, which would be that of Sky, LITECOIN, which I bought, Theta, which I bought, and Qtum. So those are the four coins I play against GoChain. And just playing the highest amount that I could afford to lose, so decent sized risk overall, but other chains or other crosses much higher than the Go chain ones. Anyway, so 118, it was like 103, so that's a bit better than 10%. We look at this on the single hour term time frame. This move happened at 5 o'clock, so I mainly got 117 for pretty much most of my sales, or both of them rather, only had two. And a couple days ago, well, Theta was having its run. What time? What was the price of Theta when it was really high? Or rather, when was it? So I would have been okay. So back here when it was 11:42, we're talking July 17th, the dinner time and evening of July 17th. And July 17th evening, we're looking at prices were like 112. So we're only up about, well, 6 points on 112. That's about 5%. But the other market's down intensifies the ratio just a little bit. But a lot of coins have been dominating Goat Chain because it's been getting its ass kicked. Failed breakout here, going to 183. This move here to 300 was at 253, goes up to 334, and just of course a sudden fall. So within first Goat Chain against Theta, you need about 9.5 Goat Chain for one Theta. And we can see, well, it was here at about like 10 and change, and well, now it's down to 9.5. But as we can see here, say on an 8-hour term time frame, how since these April lows, it goes from 3 up to 9. It was here at like 8 down to 3, but I just expect volatility, and just gonna keep on expecting that to be the case. As far as Goat Chain and Litecoin is concerned, you need 7,927 of these Goat Chain for one Litecoin, and back down here at these November lows last year, it was 677. Before that, it was 1,800. Will we have any type of retracement after that? Well, if Goat Chain has any type of move where it goes to like 2, 3, 400 very fast, then yeah, this is going to come down. Really, it's the only way. Whether it will be a way and happen, well, time will only tell. As you can see, I've just been doing mainly, mostly it'd be selling that's been going on here. But the last sell would have came in at like at this top near 9,000, and then I've bought in near around 8,000. If you can pick away at whatever moves you can, long term speaking, as long as there's good volatility, it works out mathematically. There's links in the more information box where I talk about ratio trading and such. Here's Ethereum Classic and Theta. And I'm going to, I'll talk about this in one final thing. And within it, we have 51 as the price. Back up here it was 67 and 71. Looking at this just overall, like since back in June, we have 52 up to like 200, down to 22, up to 73, down to 51. Markets go up, markets go down. So it was down, going up. Looks like it might be going down. If that's the case, that will be the case. One little interesting thing about and you need the Pro Plus to do this. It's definitely not cheap. It's actually quite costly, but it can be worth it. But if you do have it, just a little interesting thing about how to write these in. It's like, for example, let's just assume I wanted to get the ratio between, let's go stellar lumen and say theta. And I want lumen on top, or let's do, well, theta's more expensive than lumen. Let's do XLM. I'm going to go BTC. Now I'm going to want the Binance one. So I'm going to click on this, and it's going to come up. It's 884. So what I want to do is say divide this by something else. Let's even do Go Chain. So let's do Go BTC. So it seems as if this would give me, there we go, Binance.GoBTC, and let's get the ratio. Okay, seems fine, but notice it says Coinbase up here. How did that get there? Daily chart and 4-minute. You know, it could look better, I suppose, especially on the 1-minute. Well, if I go like this, if I type in Binance, then do XLM BTC divided by Binance again, and then we'll do Go BTC, push enter. I suppose it doesn't look so much better, but the example I was using was a Litecoin one, because that was driving me nuts yesterday. Because the one I originally had, I went LTC, BTC, so I'd take the Binance one, but I wasn't going to get that when it came down to it. And then I go divided by XLM BTC, and I'll take the Binance one again. And this looked really bad before. I believe it was this crossing. I got an alert in here. Shouldn't be there because I took it off. I thought I took it off. I changed the crossing to a different one. But this is what this one looks like on the 1 minute. So if I go Binance LTC BTC divided by Binance XLM BTC, they look a little bit better on the 1 minute time frame. So you get a better data, more accurate results, especially when you end up putting these triggers in. So I'm surprised I even had that against XLM. It says Binance here though, but I have a crossing for this above 1040. I know that doesn't mean much on your end. It's odd. I don't. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.